Okay, there's your 5 valves, Gene. Okay, this one on the far right over here produces a gusher here. I'm going to show you all this. The second one produces a gusher by the wall. You can see the wet wall back there. The third one, ironically, I was surprised, it handles all of your backyard area sprinkler system, which is pretty much intact. It needs new heads, but it works, as you will see. The fourth one runs sprinkler systems on both sides of the house, which start right where my finger's pointing and come all the way back to here, as well as the same on the other side of the house. So they must have used to have grass all the way back to here, because there's sprinkler heads that pop up here. And then the fifth one, I don't know what it's for. It doesn't seem to be putting out a lot of pressure. It might be drip system, but I'm not sure. What I'm going to do in a minute is start with capping off that geyser there and this one here and see what we end up with. See if it forces drip out the drip lines, which so far I haven't been able to get to work. But if we are able to go that route, we can put a timer box right there next to the electric panel and run the wires to here to these valves, so it's not a problem. But let me show you this one at a time, okay? Hold on. That's what your first valve produces. That's all I get out of it, okay? So I'm going to shut that one off. Okay. Your second valve produces this. Look back there. See it against the wall? Look. See that? That's all I get out of your second valve. So that feeds something that we'll find out. This is your third valve. As you can see, that one way over there is shooting straight up in the air. But you can see all the backyard is covered by this third valve. You could actually plant grass back here and you're in pretty good shape with some modifications to the actual pop-ups, you know. Some need to be replaced. In fact, I'd replace all of them, you know, just get some good clean ones. They're only like $4 each. So anyway, that's your third valve. This is your fourth valve. You got a drip head right next to the box there, or a sprinkler head. You got one here. You got one here that's pointing this way, which is kind of ironic, but there must have been grass there. And then going over the other side of the house, you got the same thing. You got this sprinkler here, which just covers this corner. Then you got one here, and you got one back there. So these could be eliminated on both sides of the house. The trick would be tying this one in, or leaving that one there, capping these off and leaving it there, because this is a necessary part of keeping this wet. So anyhow, okay, let me cut this off for 1 minute. I capped that geyser off. I capped the geyser off here by the back wall, hoping it would force some pressure through your drip lines. I haven't been able to get those to come on yet. You've got one here. There's a drip line there you can see. Nothing coming out of. And there's also drip lines behind these bushes. I pulled one out of this one here. Let me see. There's a drip line here too, which is producing nothing. So let me see if I can work on that. So I fixed the main gusher here that was coming out next to the valve box. I reconnected it to some PVC, and now we got a gusher here. So I'm going to come back tomorrow and see what I got. It's getting dark out and I got to get, so we'll see. Okay, Gene, so we fixed that leak, and then there's a big section of bad pipe. So I added a new section from here to there, and now we got a leak back here. But one good thing is it is the drip system. I know for sure. So I'm going to fix this leak here and see what we get. Okay, it's the next day. I'm over here close to dark. They still haven't come to turn the water on, so I kind of did it myself. They didn't really have a lock on it, so I don't think they'll care. Let me turn this first valve on here, show you what I've been able to establish. Well, hold on a minute. Okay, so we got the first valve on here. Okay, I dug up the old irrigation line, which starts here. It was broken there. That's where our gusher was. I was going to lay new line, but I don't think I need to. You can see the new line I was going to lay in. This is the old line. It needed some repair work along the way. There. There I blocked it off because there was a tree that probably used to be here. But you can see it follows. And it goes through here, excuse me. Goes through here. This is your drip system for the backyard. You've only got 4 plants, but it's important to get water. So you got one here. You can see is working. See it? It's dripping. I'll probably put one on the other side too. Same with this one. They only had one hole for it, but I'm going to put another one and put one on this side so each of these bushes will have water on both sides. But you can see here that there's good water flow. See that? And I got it stuck up on a pedestal so it'll stay in place. Okay. And following it over here to this big tree, they only had one drip on it. That was never going to work. So I went off it with one line, off the trunk line. And then here I teed off. Okay. And I got them each sitting up on little pegs you can see here that clamp them in. See, they clamp them in. So I got one going around to this side that's putting good water out here. It's a different kind of head. You can see how much it puts out. See that? And then I got one going to this side. See it? Now I'll probably move those out a little bit. Out to here and out to there because the roots of these trees are wide. I just did this for the sake of showing you what I'm going to do. It's all above ground now, but when we're done it'll all be below ground. We'll bury all this like it was. Every bit of this line will be buried and you won't see any of this except this part right here sticking up out of the ground with the water coming from it. So we were able to get line 1 established. Now, hold on a minute. Let me see what I got with line 2. I did some adjustments on the sprinkler heads. Hold on. By the way, every bit of this trunk line made with main line will be held in place by these. They go into the ground and hold them firmly down once they're buried. So I just wanted to show you that. But anyway, let's go to George turning on sprinklers. Let's go to valve 2 here. Okay, that's not doing anything. That's right, I capped 2 off. That was that gusher in the corner. So let's go to 3. Still got to replace a couple of heads. I didn't bring enough today. But see, you got a sprinkler head here that's obstructed by, here you go, sprinkler head here, one over there obviously. You got one in the middle over there, you got one here, and you got one over here in this corner, spraying out towards the grass. So you got all that. Only thing that's not covered is this corner here. And there's a sprinkler head here on the next station. I'll show you. Hold on. Let me go get to 4. Okay, sprinkler valve number 4. Let me see. Well, I got a leak right here as soon as it pops up. I got a sprinkler head here that's going to have to be capped off because there probably used to be grass here. I got another one here that's going to have to be capped off. And I got another one here that I can turn this way. I can turn it this way and it'll go into here. But the good news is the corner that wasn't getting anything before has a sprinkler head here. Now I'm going to put a different sprinkler head on that so it gets all of this area wet. That's just a narrow sprinkler head. I'm going to put one on that wets all this. So all this will be getting wet consistently. But like the other side, you got two more sprinkler heads here and here that I'm going to have to dig up and cap off because there must have been grass here at one point. And so you don't want them running. So station 4 will only run this one here in this corner and that one there in that corner. That's it. Let's see. Now, I haven't been able to figure out station 5 yet. Give me a minute. This is day 3 over here working on this irrigation. What we had to do is take the drip line from back there by the tree and run a new piece of line because we couldn't find any. I think station 5 over there used to run under the cement. I think it's collapsed. We couldn't get any drip to the front yard. So I ran drip line because you need drip on these bushes. You've lost so many bushes on this property. I can tell by where all the old drip lines were, especially in the backyard. So we took and you can see where we dug up here. We took and dug under the wall and ran new drip line. You can see where we connected it here. We ran new drip line from the backyard to the front yard. So everything here gets drip. Everything up front here gets a drip. So should be good to go. That tree was going to die someday. I mean, it's looking pretty ragged now, so it needed water. Look at it, see? So we're working on this system, trying to get you fully operational, but I'll give you an update here in a minute. Okay, so I got this timer box here that I bought, and I rigged it up for the 3 stations that work down here that run all your grass and drip. You can see it's a wiring nightmare, but I got it all hooked up. We're going to go ahead and test it and see if it works, okay? And if so, we got a plug right there. It doesn't work, but we can fix that. But we can hook the timer box up right here, this box. So let's go ahead and hit auto, manual. We'll go with station 2 since it's sprinklers. Station 2 for 2 minutes. Enter. Let's see what happens. Here we go. So you got to put all new sprinkler heads on these, but you got a working system. You got a really good working system. And like I said before, we took the end of your line there and we ran it. Look, we ran it all the way up underground into your front yard and got all your bushes out there. See? You know, there's no reason not to get this thing fully functional. It'll probably cost the same as putting rocks back here. And if you want to do the rocks instead, that's fine too. We can do grass here now, or we can do rocks, but for sure all your bushes, trees, and shrubs have drip system going to them. So this little test worked. Let's see if station 1 gives me drip system. Here, hold on. Okay. Automatic, manual. Station 1. 4 minutes. Yep, I heard it come on. So you should have drip system over here. Yep, you got drip there. Look, and you got drip over by your tree, which is really nice. You got drip on this one too. Like I said, I'm going to add 2 to the other sides of that. And we're in your front yard. We're in your front yard right now. Yeah, we're in your front yard right now. Look, you got drip coming to this. And drip coming to this. This tree really needs it bad. This was a bad tree. This needs a lot of water. It's going to die. Got a little bit of a leak here we're going to have to figure out. You can see that, but that's not a problem. And you got drip coming here to this little tree up by your garage. I'll have to put a drip head on that, but I will. Only one left to do is this one. And what we'll do is we'll run, I saw a capped off one. We'll run a spaghetti strap from here over to there underground and save having to put a big trench here. Save you some labor time. But this has been I've been over here for 3 days, not whole days, but 3 days working, figuring out this system. So all we have left to do now is fix that leak over there, mount this box, okay, mount this box on the wall, get all these wires capped off with the right kind of caps, waterproof ones, get that plug working, and change out these sprinkler heads. So you can see by you can see by the fact that I had this running, everywhere is getting water back here. Except that spot back there. See it, the dry spot? See the dry spot back by in between the 2 trees? That's not getting water. This area here is not getting water. Right here. And that area over there too, right by the brick. So I have to put a head here that sprays a little bit wider. But other than that, you got grass back here and you got drip system. We got your whole system up and running. We just got to take the time to bury all this trunk line again and get it wrapped up, which we'll do tomorrow. By the way, that red valve down there that put out the gusher by the wall when I first started looking at this, let me show you something. The reason why that's got a red handle on it, it's not like the other valves, is because that wasn't hooked up to a timer box. That was hooked up to a fountain where they could turn it on when they wanted to. Right here you have, I don't know where it went. Hold on a second. By the way, there's your freshly painted front door. Looks nice, huh? Put 4 coats on there. Give it some longevity. So that looks nice. As I was saying, you see the difference between that red one? This one here's got a red handle. That had no wires coming off it like these do for the solenoids, for the timer box. That was meant to be manually turned on and off by whoever set this system up. To run this fountain back here. And the reason why I know it was a fountain is because this was gushing. You remember when I first started working on this? Where's that wire at?
Where's that buried? Down there buried.
How far down is it buried? Okay, apparently George, there was an electric wire, big wire here, curled up. Apparently George buried it a good 3 feet today, so I can't show you that, but there must have been some kind of pond here. So that's what you got. So, oh yeah, and 2 more things we got to do. We're going to take I'm going to show you when I turn on station 2 what happens. Station 2, let's do this. Station 2, actually no, it's station 3. Station 3, manual, look up here in the corner. 1, 2, there's station 3 for just a couple of minutes. Oops, wow, it gave me 48 hours. Minutes. I don't know why it's doing that. Let me start over. Okay, here, hold on. Okay. Manual. Station 3. 2, 3 minutes. Enter. Now watch what happens when station 3 comes on. You got a drip head, you got a sprinkler head here that we're going to have to eliminate. Doggone it, I just dropped the timer box. So I'm probably going to have to start over with showing you this. Hold on. Let me pause this. Okay, so when you turn on station 3, you got a sprinkler valve right here next to the box. And you got another one here. Both of those are going to have to be dug up and capped off. This one here, we'll simply turn and point it that way. We'll keep it. So station 3 will only run 2 heads. It'll run that head I just showed you, and I'll keep it on this head here. It runs this head too in this corner of the yard. You can see where. So, but there's 2 more over here we got to cap off. So station 1 runs all your drip on the property. Station 2 runs all of the backyard, and station 3 runs that corner and that corner. That's a recap. So everything on your property now is getting watered. I know this has probably been like this since you bought the house. And you know, if I had started doing this, well, it's not focusing. If I had started doing this and your valves didn't work, or there was broken lines everywhere, there was a few, and the heads weren't popping up, and it was a big, expensive project, I would have stopped. But I initially started by making sure the valves fed water. Now today I made sure that the valves can feed water when hooked to a timer. So I just think it was a good idea to get this up and running. You can plant more plants here. Let me show you in the front yard. I can tell you let me shut this off. Just shut off itself. I can tell you that by the amount of drip heads that were sticking up out of the ground, you had a tree here, you had plants here, here, and one in between that's dead, that you can see over there. You had plants everywhere up here that died because your sprinkler system, your drip system didn't work. So I think it's a good idea. We got you straightened out. You can plant more things here if you want to when you go to sell the house. Make it look nice. The only other problem we're going to have to fix, and it would have to be fixed with or without us fixing your irrigation, is your, look, this is called a vacuum breaker. It's there by law. This prevents water from your drip system, irrigation, from backing up into your house. So this has a pretty bad leak. I might be able to fix that leak by taking this top off and putting a new seal on it. Sometimes I can do that. Otherwise, we're going to have to buy a new vacuum breaker and put it on. I hate to tell you, one of those mechanisms there costs about 150 bucks. But it has to be done either way. It leaks when the water's on. So that's it, man. I've got a lot of narration for you. I've given you video from start to finish on the sprinkler system. So hopefully you've been able to follow along and see what needs to be done and where. Okay? We'll see you later.